Hey guys, Legendary Grimlock here, and welcome to an all-new remake. We're almost done with this series, obviously, right? But again, we gotta continue. We gotta get all these remakes out here. And today we have King Ceasar versus Gorosaurus, another rematch here. So without further ado, we're gonna start off with King Ceasar. All right. So King Ceasar appeared in the Showa era of Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, to where he was undoubtedly a beast. He was actually one of the top tier kaiju. And he was actually doing some crazy things in that movie. Bro was judo throwing, back flipping, drop kicking, and shoulder charging a robot. Crazy, ain't it? And Mechagodzilla himself is no slouch, with him being able to fight against both Godzilla and Titanosaurus, albeit Titanosaurus was mind controlled, so it kind of is what it is, right? So with King Ceasar, and in both IDW and live action versions, because again we are using both here for both him and Gorosaurus here, in the comics he was able to tear apart trilopods, even enhanced trilopods like the trilopod enhanced Rodan, and he did it with utter ease. King Ceasar was also able to fight off multiple base trilopods by himself here, when other kaiju like Baragon, Gorosaurus, and Sanda, Garaya, Varan, and Rodan were all taken down and captured. Also Titanosaurus as well. So again, King Ceasar was an absolute beast. He was also able to take down Batra in a pretty quick fashion as well. This also goes to show on his intelligence, as he could actually be seen as one of the top tier smartest kaiju, probably in the top 3, along with characters like Mothra, Ghidorah, himself, Jet Jaguar, and other characters that have high levels of intelligence and martial arts prowess. Speaking of his martial arts prowess, he actually excels in some good martial arts capabilities. Apologies. He actually excels in these martial arts capabilities, with him actually using things like roundhouse kicks, drop kicks, and if you guys want to go by Godzilla Unleashed, yeah, he has a very extensive fighting style. Able to use judo throws, grappling skills, body slams. He's able to do all that, all right? And he's a very skilled kaiju. Probably one of the top 3 most skilled in there. More skilled than characters like, again, he should be the most skilled member of the Earth Defenders faction. There should be no doubt about that. More skilled than Sanda and Garaya together, who have a bit of wrestling in their fighting system. And then there's Jet Jaguar, who's also an extensive knowledge of Japanese martial arts. So, yeah, King Ceasar is very powerful here. He also has his reflection ability, which is when he's able to absorb energy into his eyes, or from probably any part of his body. Now that I think about it, he's able to absorb energy, and then he's able to blast that energy back, and apparently it comes back a lot stronger, as he did this to Mechagodzilla. And you think Mechagodzilla should scale to his own energy blast, right? But when King Ceasar launched it back, it actually hurt him a lot more than, well, he expected. So obviously Mechagodzilla's energy beams or energy blast got blasted back at him with tenfold. Now, yes, King Ceasar doesn't have the best showings when it comes to certain movies, like in Final Wars, where he absolutely got destroyed, honestly, and just kind of passed over. But again, King Ceasar at the end of the day should be one of the more top tier kaijus in the verse. I'm not saying Godzilla, Destroyer, and King Ghidorah level. I'm not saying that, but he's definitely close to that level, probably in the second or mid-tier ranges. But again, he's not really comparable to obviously the higher tiers of the kaiju group. All right, so without further ado, let's start off with his opponent, Gorosaurus. So Gorosaurus, one of my all-time favorite kaiju here, and definitely deserves to be in the Monsterverse. Gorosaurus is one of the few members of the kaiju community, or one of the kaiju in general, that deserves a lot of love and shine here. You see, Gorosaurus here is very underrated in terms of power. For starters, he was able to fight off hordes of trilopods. Now, yes, I know I said he lost earlier, but that's because he got overwhelmed by numbers. And a trilopod did sneak in a bite and absorb his DNA, so he was kind of knocked out by like an enhanced version of his attack here. But again, he does come back stronger and is able to fight against his own trilopod in relative fashion. So again, there is a power increase here. But Gorosaurus is one of the more capable kaiju here. Like I said earlier, he's fought off multiple trilopods, with characters like Sanda, Goriya, Varan, and Titanosaurus, as well as Rodan, could barely handle a small group here. And they were coming at him like wave after wave after wave here, until eventually, yeah, they did overwhelm him. But he was still able to thrash and pretty much just kick them around here. Gorosaurus is also capable of going toe-to-toe with other monsters as well, such as the likes of Baragon and I believe even Megaguirus as well here. He's been able to not even knock out Megaguirus, who was able to take Godzilla's nuclear pulse and his atomic breath in a pretty good double combo fashion, right? So yeah, Gorosaurus does have some decent scaling. In his, I think, Showa era, he was also one of the few monsters to contribute and actually go up and square off against Ghidorah in that fight, taking his gravity beams, taking his hurricane blast. He also took attacks from Showa era Kong as well, with that Kong being able to go toe-to-toe and even harm Godzilla. And he was even able to use his kangaroo kick to even knock around Kong with really minimal difficulty, in all honesty. He's also taken attacks from characters like Megaguirus and so on and so forth. His durability is actually pretty great as well, being able to take attacks from, again, characters like Kong, King Ghidorah, and etc. You know, almost forgot, he also was able to, I think he broke King Ghidorah's back with a simple kangaroo kick, and that King Ghidorah had like, he had a lot of quotes. Some quotes you can put him at like star level ranges of durability. You also had him doing like planet busting. You also had him like, I think he could absorb enough power to destroy the entire universe, so his body could handle like universal levels of energy and stuff like that. You could get Gorosaurus' attack potency to a lot of ranges, the same way you could get any kaiju from the Showa era to these kind of attack ranges with a lot of like linear scaling and stuff, right? So yeah, Gorosaurus' kangaroo kick is no joke here. He also has a barbed tail, I believe it was, where he's able to like stab his opponents with it. He's also a very good at burrowing, which means he could basically just like dig underground. However, it's not fast like characters like Zilla can do it. However, it is in a suitable range to where he can use it to like evade attacks and stuff. So yeah, that's I think that honestly covers a large majority of Gorosaurus' abilities. He doesn't really have much to his name here, but he is one of the more physically active kaijus in the verse. I mean, being able to break King Ghidorah's back, being able to knock over Kong, and even outshowing kaiju who could barely handle one trilopod while he's tearing apart multiple with them jaws, his tail, his kick, sending them flying and stuff like that. I think it's pretty simple here. And most of these kaiju do scale to each other. Like Sanda and Varan scale to each other. Varan scales to Rodan. Shout out to King Churros for that one. But regardless here, Gorosaurus is a pretty powerful kaiju. So I think without further ado, we can actually get into the breakdown here for both of them. So yeah, who wins this matchup more often than not? King Ceasar versus Gorosaurus, the rematch, right? These two very powerful, very underrated, and underutilized kaiju. I mean, these guys both honestly deserve their shine in the Monsterverse, and I hope we actually get to see them in the future. I would actually like to see King Ceasar and Kong probably fist fight each other, but you know, they probably won't have Kong lose, so it is what it is. But pertaining to this matchup here, I favor King Ceasar in this scenario. Now, I would say Gorosaurus is the physically more powerful of the two, but King Ceasar just has more. Now, Energy Blast really won't be applicable in this fight because Gorosaurus doesn't have any energy that King Ceasar could absorb and reflect back onto him. But the sheer fact that Gorosaurus is mainly a brute, and plus their showings against the trilopods and against other monsters. I think against other monsters, they're slightly relative. Albeit, you could make the argument that battling against Megalon is a lot more preferable than battling against Megaguirus. So, it is what it is here, but I am going to favor King Ceasar here. He just has better showings, in all honesty. He has better showings. He's a better fighter. He's a lot more skilled. He can outmaneuver. He's definitely faster than Gorosaurus here, much more mobile as well. And in all honesty, I just think that if there was movies versus movies, I would favor Gorosaurus. Comics versus comics, I would favor King Caesar. But with both of them here and looking at both their showings, I would actually favor King Caesar more often than not. But again, I would actually say he takes this high difficulty. All right. I think that he just has better skill mechanics. He has better fighting mechanics, I should say. He has better track records against kaiju, and he just did a lot better against the Tralopods. Their movie showings are fairly relative, with the slight edge, if not a larger edge, going to Gorosaurus here. But at the end of the day here, I would definitely award Gorosaurus a 5 out of 10, while I would reward King Caesar another 9 out of 10. Sorry, 5 out of 10. Oh my gosh, what about wrong? 5 out of 10 victories here. But if I had to give the first win to somebody, I would give it to King Caesar, high difficulty. It can go back and forth, but I would award King Caesar 5 out of 10. Or at least the first 5 out of 10, while Gorosaurus claims another. But anyway, that's going to be all today, you guys. Please comment down below, like and subscribe and share with your friends. This is Legendary Grimlock, and I hope you guys have a blessed year. Peace.